Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk to you about how 5G and the cross-reality technologies enable enhanced tourism experiences in the context of a smart museum. Here the outline of the presentation. We will start with a short introduction, then we will introduce the project, the team and the technology, then our proposed solution, and finally some take-home messages. Over the last few weeks, we have seen how the coronavirus emergency has indeed impacted the art and the cultural heritage sectors. Unfortunately, during such a crisis, many museums have closed their doors. So, arts and the cultural sector organizations, municipalities included, have faced the challenge to sell new experiences and attract people despite the increased perception of risk and the economic recession context. On the other hand, new disruptive technologies such as 5G are expected to pave the way for new products and services offered mainly to the media and entertainment industries that would satiate the rapidly changing of customers' preferences. The Atos augmented touristic service that will be presented today will allow people to seamlessly interact with digitalized 3D models and multimedia artifacts that represent touristic places and cultural content, while it opens up new opportunities for stakeholders of the tourism sector value chain. My name is Francesco D'Andrea, and I'm the head of the Media and the Next Generation Internet Unit at Atos Research and Innovation in Spain. I'm an Italian electronic engineer, moved to Barcelona several years ago, and I have more than 20 years working experience, 15 of them in Atos, in the scientific areas that include media, gamification, and cross-reality technologies. The mission of the Media and the Next Generation Internet Unit is to design and develop ICT tools for both the media industries, broadcast, content production, press, etc., and the cultural and the creative industries, with the solution and the services such as multi-platform efficient media content management, content recommendation and personalized advertising with the content characterization, annotation, data fusion, and the profiling, rich multimedia user experience, social network analytics, and etc. etc. As I said before, the Media and NGI unit is a part of the Atos Research and Innovation. So let's introduce RE2. RE team is the research and development hub for new technologies and a key reference for the whole Atos group. Thanks to our large experience in the research, development, and innovation projects, we are able to bring new solutions and innovative elements to customers' business. The group focuses on project development, combining economic exploitation of investigation results and the most up-to-date technological achievement with high awareness of the human and the social factors. One of these very innovative projects is 5G Tour project. 5G Tour is an European Union funded project that aims to develop a set of vertical solutions and applications enabled by 5G technology that are needed for the envisioned use cases. This comprises, among others, media distribution applications, media production solution, a connected robot, e-health-related products, and mobility platforms. The project implemented 13 innovative use cases involving citizens and tourists in 3 types of cities, 5G nodes: Turin, Italy, Rennes, France, and Athens in Greece. The 5G Tour project is coordinated by Ericsson Italia, while the technical coordination is for Samsung, UK. Its consortium includes 27 partners from 7 different countries: Italy, France, Greece, Spain, Netherlands, UK, and Israel. The consortium is composed by vertical customers, such as Radio Televisione Italiana, 5G infra providers like Ericsson or Nokia, 5G terminal providers like Samsung, telecom operators like Telecom Italia, TIM, Orange, or Cosmote, big and small technological providers like Atos, as well as universities like UPV or University Carlos III, and research centers like Beacon. As already mentioned, 5G is a crucial technology for the media sector. It enables new services and new business models. The main benefit for the general users is the improvement of the quality of experience, enabling new approaches for the content distribution, sharing and interaction through cross-reality technologies, empowering ultra-low latency interaction with very high bandwidth transaction. The exploitation of such interactive technology is enabled by reliable 5G network connectivity to provide faster and more uniform data rates, as well as lower latency. In the context of the 5G Tour action, Atos is designing, implementing, and finally validating a cross-reality application that involve augmented reality and virtual reality interaction on top of a 5G connectivities and the IoT devices to be reactive to user requirements, as well as environmental and platform-specific aspects to maximize the end-user quality of experience. The proof of concept takes place within Palazzo Madama. Palazzo Madama was the first Senate of the Italian Kingdom and takes its traditional names from the embellishment it received under 2 queens, Madama, of the House of Savoy. The proof of concept involves the use case of a mobile application of augmented tourism experience that offers visitors a guided tour of the museum enriched with the multimedia content, augmented reality experience, and the typical information of a smart city to improve its visit experience. The mobile application will therefore rely on a 5G coverage to download multimedia content, 3D representation of pieces of art, immersive videos, audio, and etc., on demand from an ad hoc 5G-enabled infrastructure. The service also requires the deployment of some sensors, both internally on the 4 towers of Palazzo Madama and externally in Piazza Castello. The use case will be set in the following areas of the Palazzo Madama: Cella 1 and Cella 2 that you can see on the right of this slide. And also on the first floor, the second floor, and the main hall of Palazzo Madama. The execution flow of the augmented tourism experience application will cover 5 main use cases that are related to the main activities museum visitors can do in the context of a museum visit. The use case 1 begins the experience, so it's about of downloading, installing, and configuring the user app and retrieving some info about the museum. The use case 2, museum visitors enter in one of the selected museum rooms. In the use case 3, museum visitors explore a specific piece of art. Then in the use case 4, the museum visitors leave the museum but not the experience. And the use case 5, where the museum visitors that are in another museum, like GAM, for instance, or a tomb, retrieve piece of art labeled as favorites or explore new piece of arts. In the context of the use case 1, we show how the app uses a location-based beacon technology to retrieve useful info about the museum itself. The visitors get close to a beacon installed in the main hall. The app previously installed on the visitor device gets from the beacon an ID to retrieve from the backend useful info about the museum, such as possible tours to run, crowding of the museum rooms, personalized tours, maps of the museum, point of interest, and etc. etc. The app retrieves all this information and show them in a proper way, also using maps or drawings. In the use case 2, the visitors enters in one of the considered room. And also in this use case, we use a location-based beacon technology to retrieve useful information about the room. The apps get from a beacon a room ID. So interacting with the backend, retrieve additional multimedia contents about the room to augment visitors' experiences. The app display through augmented reality technology a map of the room decorated with information about artworks, basically the name and a picture of each one of them placed over the room. The user can interact, so consume such multimedia contents or select the artwork as a favorite. So put it in the basket so the multimedia content can be consumed afterward. Actually, I think this is the most interesting use case implemented by the app. Here, the visitors approach the artworks placed in one of the considered rooms. The app scans the artworks and using a 3D visual search service, it recognizes the target, the piece of art. So the app can retrieve all the multimedia assets related to such artwork. 3D models that represent the artwork, immersive video, 2D videos, photo, text, written description in different languages, audios in different languages, guides, and etc. etc. So the app shows a menu details all the multimedia assets related to a specific piece of art. Moreover, visitors, through IR interaction, is able to select the multimedia content to consume, interact with the 3D representation of the artworks, move, make it bigger to see hidden details of the artworks, rotate, and etc. etc. Select the artworks as in the previous case and put it in the basket, so labeling as favorite. So the multimedia content can be consumed afterward in a VR modality. At the end of the visit, the application will suggest to tourists further places of interest and several mobility solutions to reach them on foot, by bus, with the car sharing, and etc. etc. The application will therefore interact with the smart city services, which will make use of information from the city, which can be open data, bus lines, opening hours, information on museum, and etc., but also measurements like pollution, weather, traffic, availability of a bike sharing, and etc. etc. This information are carried out about an appropriate network of IoT sensors that will be installed in the Piazza Castello area. To the visitors will be offered a series of places to visit, depending on their preferences and the time they can spend. After selecting the desired place, the application will show the different ways to reach it. On foot, if the distance is not too big and the current weather and pollution condition allow it. By bicycle, showing the nearest bike sharing station. By public transport, showing the stop closest to the journey times. By car, showing the closest car sharing station and any park area near to the destination area. The final use case is about a visitor that is in another museum or at home and retrieve artworks labeled as a favorite. So in this case, the tourist can retrieve an artwork previously stored as a favorite or interact with a new one. Unlike the previous use case, this experience is a virtual reality basis. So the contents can be consumed via interacting with other devices such as head-mounted device or Oculus Quest that support this modality. The application is compatible with both interaction. What we are seeing now is a virtual tour in another museum, so museum not visited by tourists, and this reality could be interactive or could be a pre-recorded interactive. In terms of hardware equipment, the idea is to develop experience for different target users, such as pop experience for the general public through mobile phones or tablets, and professional targeted experience for specific users, such as architects and students. Experience that requires augmented reality will be dependent on the mobile device itself. The Samsung S10 5G device can be reused for this kind of scenario, and thus a smartphone is preferred. Other devices like IR headset such as HoloLens or Magic Leap will provision professional target experience and will be connected to the 5G network through a 5G modem. For the experience that requires virtual reality, we will be using headset mobile-based solution, since this provides both support for 5G connectivities and a compatible headset to experience and immersive application. The device used will be the Samsung Galaxy S10 5G coupled with Samsung Gear virtual reality or a Google Daydreams. The front end of the app has been implemented in Unity 3D plus Vuforia for Android, at least for the moment. This is only because when we started implementing the service, WebXR Tech was not stable enough to support augmented reality interaction. However, due to the fact all the management of the content is done server-side, we could move from an app-based approach to a web-based approach without additional difficulties. This will allow users to interact with multimedia assets, 3D model, 2D and immersive video, photo, and etc., in a reliable way. The backend includes a content management system with an easy interface to be used by the museum curator to properly register the assets to be consumed. In addition, an end-to-end multimedia streaming pipe via an handmade CDN with both an open source tech or commercial product such as WhatsApp has been implemented to ensure to maximize the end user quality of experience. This included the acquisition of the image, the encoding and the distribution part, and also the playback of the content in mobile phone. On one hand, we have the 5G coverage requirements. So the Palazzo Madama requires a mix of outdoor and indoor coverage. So the outdoor will be provided through a commercial site, while the indoor coverage is provided by 5G radio dot solution. And in terms of KPIs, so the downlink should still be investigated. In terms of uplink, we realized that we need 120 Mbps with a latency end-to-end of less than 10 milliseconds. The Atos solution is still in the alpha phase. We plan to deliver a first stable version of the service during the second half of this year. In the first quarter of the 2021, we will make the first acceptance test within Palazzo Madama with the real users. And the final version of the software will be available by the end of the next year, 2021. Later on, we will implement a longer piloting during the 2022. This last slide will show you some interesting link that you can reuse for be aware about the next development of the project. So the first link is about the project. The second link is about the RE Media and NGI unit. The third link is a newsletter about the Palazzo Madama and the 5G coverage. And finally, we have the final link that will introduce to you the Palazzo Madama Turin. Okay, with this slide, let me thank you for attending this presentation, and I will leave you my contact, my email address, and my phone number that you can ping me for any reason and for knowing more about the 5G tourist solution.